We're back with another 2021 rookie profile. Is Amon-Ra St. Brown a heat seeker? Watch and find out. Brad from RotoHeat and RookieDraftGuide.com. Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, do it. If you have, much love. Don't forget, drop a like. Let's get this thing up to 200. We appreciate everything you guys have been doing, liking the videos, comment, doing all those things, but let's keep this train rolling. Don't forget to check out RookieDraftGuide.com. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the 6'1", 195-pound receiver from the University of Southern California, USC. Is he a top 5 rookie fantasy receiver in your mind? Let us know in the comments below. So St. Brown, coming out of high school, the hype train was rolling. I mean, number 11 nationally ranked, number 2 at wide receiver, number 1 in the state of California. You know, coming out of Mater Dei, not Mickey D, Mater Dei in California, everybody was expecting a lot out of him. He went to USC, which it's kind of been up and down for wide receivers over the last decade. You know, obviously recency bias. Michael Pittman had a great rookie year, and if you listen to us here at RotoHeat and Rookie Draft Guide, we were big fans. So we're not going to pat ourselves on the back, but I don't know if lightning strikes twice, though, with Amon-Ra St. Brown. In college, you know, obviously USC's offense has been up and down, been a bit of a roller coaster. His last full season with Pittman turned out well. You know, 2019, he had 77 receptions, 1,042 yards, and 6 touchdowns, and he added 7 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown on the ground. This past season, obviously in 6 games, things didn't look so great for him. 41 receptions, 478, 7. Now, obviously, things were different in the Pac-12 this year. It's hard to really put it on the young receiver because you've seen a lot of talent there. You've seen a lot of things that you like. In 2018 and 2019, you know, he continued to grow and develop. And then 2020 seemed to be a bit of a brick wall for a lot of folks in college. You know, the top guys stayed the top guys, but there was a lot of, you know, with all the opt-outs and all the different things going on, I mean, it was just tough all around. So 2020, you have to kind of give a little bit of a mulligan to a lot of these guys, especially if you liked a player coming into 2020. I definitely would make sure you take a look back, dig into the tape. Obviously, RookieDraftGuide.com. We've got our film, got things up that we've watched. You know, St. Brown, I think, ended his career as best he could. You know, you saw all of his numbers dip across the board. Average, all that. You know, he didn't even get involved in the rushing game, which he had been involved in the previous seasons, at least a little bit. Jet sweeps, some of those things. You have to let your big play players do big play things, and he didn't get that opportunity. So make sure you check out 2019, 2018. You know, when you're building your idea of this individual player or any individual player that kind of dropped off, you got to dig into why. For St. Brown, I don't put it all on the player specifically. I think there was a lot there that had to be taken in when it comes to the overall makeup of the player. So collegiately, things didn't end as well. He comes into the draft in kind of a loaded draft class. I mean, think about what he's going up against. Another guy who opted out in Jamar Chase, a guy who erupted and took the Heisman in Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, Terrace Marshall, Rashad Bateman, Kadarius Toney, Rondale Moore. You know, I mean, Tylan Wallace, who we've already done a video on, you can check out on YouTube here. Seth Williams. I mean, there's just the list is massive. So it's going to be an interesting one, and you got to dig into the tape to really see what to make of these guys. Now, on to see what we think of these guys. The team as a whole, they seem a little bit on the high side. You know, they seem to be more high on the player than low on the player. He doesn't rank specifically at the top. I won't give you the exact number because RookieDraftGuide.com and all those things. Shameless plug, as always. But I will tell you that the team is more high than low. At 6'1", 195, he's got good size. They used him a lot in slot You could use him in jet sweeps. He's a big play threat before and after the catch. So if a team gets him and is able to kind of do that chess piece type thing where they're moving him around and getting him a good matchup and just kind of having him do some different things, I mean, he could really develop into a nice wide receiver at the next level. He obviously has quite a bit of room to grow, but in the areas that you need to see, he does well. Very good hands receiver. He's got a well above average separation ability, especially against man coverage. He does a good job releasing off the line. He's not elite in any stretch, but he's good. And because he's a big play threat before and after the catch, he can make things happen, get you some yak and do some of those things that we like to see from our receivers. He definitely, so he has the football IQ to play in a variety of positions, in a variety of systems. I think he's going to move on to the next level and be ready to step in and be involved maybe sooner than some other guys. He's got a above average football IQ, I think, at least my perspective. When looking through the evaluators, like I've said in some of the other videos, I look at all the different evaluators we've got, and we've got a lot of guys looking at tape and giving their 2 cents, like Sully and his 2 cents. And guys will tell me in the notes what they're thinking. A lot of guys said good route runner, good hands, big playability, and I think what it tells us is that he's a guy that, as the process moves along, I think he's a name that will begin to get a little bit more hype, because your scouts and evaluators and the guys who make the $1 million decisions will look back at 2019 and 2018 and see that growth and maturation and see kind of what happened there, and then the drop off in 2020, and kind of dig into behind the scenes on some of that and see what we saw and more. And they'll say, oh, this is a guy that we need to take a hard look at and really dig into. And I think he'll probably wind up being somewhere in the day 2 range. Some of the guys on the team, so when I say we're for the most part high on this player, we did have one guy say that he thinks he's probably a wide receiver 3 at best when it comes to fantasy. So that's the tough thing for you in the fantasy perspective. What do you do with a player who probably no more than a wide receiver 2 at best, wide receiver 3 or 4 at worst? So that's probably second round quality type player. I would tell you that rookiedraftguide.com will have, once we start getting into mock season and doing some of those things, which we're getting fired up, we will tell you where you need to draft this guy if you want to make sure he's on your roster. There's a lot to like about Amon-Ra St. Brown, though. So I think he really has an opportunity to develop nicely. He does some of the things that you need to see already going into the pros. He's an above average route runner. He's got the athletic ability, the whole shebang. And at 6'1", 195, he's got good size. He's the same height as a guy like Smith and heavier by 15, 20 pounds. So he should be able to add a little bit more, even if he needs to add a little bit more. He really doesn't have to, and he's got that dynamic ability that will serve him well at the next level. Like I said before, is he a top 5 fantasy receiver, rookie fantasy receiver in this draft class? Don't forget, comment below. We like to have the conversation. As you can tell, I've talked on all these videos. I like to talk, and we're here to help. Don't forget, hit us up in the communities, in our Discord, and our Facebook, on Twitter. You can slide the DMs. I talk to a lot of guys about fantasy questions, trades, all those things. We're here to help. The RotoHeat and RookieDraftGuide.com team is here to do our best to serve you and all your fantasy needs, and we will talk to you guys again soon.